What is up, Motorfest racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. We're here today with the Audi RS7 Sportback. This thing is a bit of a beast when it comes to the Street Tier 2 class. Trying to knock out all the new Audis for you guys. This is really a pretty good one. I enjoy the way it handles. It's a bit of a boat, but it's definitely not bad. It looks good. There's a lot you can do with it, and I know there's a lot of Audi fanboys out there that we're going to be looking for it, so I'm happy to put it on the channel. Let's dig into it. Let me show you what we've got. All right, as far as the vanity options go, there's a couple different ways you can make it look, and for that reason, I think that this outshines some of the other cars that came with the update, just because, I don't know, I guess I'm a fan. I just like the way it looks a lot. Make sure that if you do go in there, you do grab the front fenders and bring those wheels out a lot further. So make sure you put the wide body fenders on it. There's not nearly as many customization options with this one as there was with like the RS2 Avant, but still you can make it look pretty sweet. For the pro settings on this one, we are final drive all the way long. Power distribution, you're going to fade it a little bit to the front, so it's 45%. For the grip, it's 100% both front and rear. For the brake balance, you're going to fade that way to the front, 69%. Nice. For the brake power, 100%. For the load in the front on the Aero, it's 100%, and then we're -4 on the rear. It's a bit of a heavy car. We fade a lot of the power to the front, so we take a little load out of the rear just to make it slide on us just a skosh. Springs, we're 100% stiff on the front, so that's +10, and we are +5% stiff in the rear. For the damper compression, it's -6 in the front and -16 in the rear. For the rebound, it is -4 in the front and -12 in the rear. For the ARB, anti-roll bars, you're +10 in the front and +7 in the rear. And your alignment, which is the camber, we're going -20 in the front and -025 in the rear. What that's going to do is set the car up to be nimble, not too rowdy, and still have enough grip and traction to really be able to put the car where you'd like it. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage. I show you what it does around the test track, and then I also show you what the top speed is in a straight line on the highway, so that way you can get an idea what it'll do in the grand race when you're trying to get away or if you're trying to catch up to somebody. Alright guys, that's the RS7 Sportback. Let me show you that test track. Here we are on the test track creating a legend. RS7's decent. It's a little heavy. I mean, like, it's a big car. I'm not going to pretend it's not, but it does handle pretty good for its size. It's got a really good boost top speed. So we'll see how fast we can make it go around the track. Overall, I don't expect it to do quite as good as some of the other cars just due to its weight and size. 227 to 229 is like hauling the mail around this track. Mind you, I mean, I think I could push that down if I really was in those other cars and was really trying to set as fast as lap time as possible. But I try to get a consistent fast lap and or fast race, and then use that as a kind of a marker. And I run this probably 4 or 5 times once the tune's locked in, so that way I know I'm giving it my best effort. I'm not just doing a one and done kind of deal. Right there is an example of it feeling just a little boaty. I tried to hit that inside line, it didn't quite hit. With the RS3 Audi in Street Tier 1, I was kind of complaining because it had too many gears. It felt like it was kind of monotonous, especially first and second. With this one, I'm glad that it's got as many gears in the gearbox as it does, because it allows us to really be in the right gear, in the power all the time, because it's a little heavier. With its top speed, it's going to separate this car apart. I think that in the draft, this is probably going to be one of the faster Street Tier 2 cars you can be driving in the competitive scene. But what it does around this track will give you an idea of how it'll kind of do everywhere else. I think if it was just pure highway, this baby's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, it looks great, and it's a nice car. But we do suffer on the other end of things with it being a little bit bigger of a car. It isn't quite as nimble as what we typically would like. Like, I'm in love with that Corvette. It's fast around this track. It's fast in general. It's kind of my go-to when I'm trying to really get sweaty in the grand races. There we go. We hit it that time. It kind of corrected for what I experienced the last turn, but with us hooking, it got a little wild. Overall, though, I think we're on pace to do a pretty good lap here. That car wasn't parked there, so we were able to scuff that turn a little bit better than we normally would. So we'll have to factor that in kind of our finish here. But we are on pace to do something decent. Like I said, 227's cooking, 230's right in the money. So we did a 229.8. That's not bad. This puts it right in line with the other Street Tier 2 cars, what they've done around this track. But it's faster in the top speed section. So I think if you can tame the beast and kind of get used to throwing its weight around, you'll probably do really well in it. Let me show you what it does on the highway. Here we are on the highway. I'm going to show you guys what it does in top speed. Car's fast. It's got a good top speed. Up there with the Berlinetta. I think that if you can wrangle it around the track in a good way, I mean, you're sacrificing a little handling. It's a little bit boaty, but once we click into 8th, you'll see that that car has no problem hitting 240. I saw 244 out of it a few times. Right there, 244. So that's with us boosting, obviously right into a wall, but that gives you an idea what you'd be looking like in slipstream catching up. A lot of the other Street Tier 2 cars only do 230-ish. So when you've got that extra 4, 5, 6, 7 mile an hour, that allows you to catch up or break away. Even in slipstream, if somebody's behind you in like a Corvette and you're in this, you're going to be able to get away from them because you've got a better top speed. This has got Berlinetta vibes written all over it, which is really quite nice. And so that's something to keep in mind, you guys. It's definitely got a good top speed. That's the video. This is the Audi RS7. I think you guys will really like it. It's pretty sweet. I enjoy it. It's a little harder to wrangle around, but overall that boost top speed is addictive, and it'll allow you to break away if you can make it work. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye-bye.